Howdy and welcome back to the channel. I am Country Boy, and today we're going to be warming up our vocal cords because we're going to be opening up the Ghost of the Auditorium, or otherwise known as the Phantom of the Opera from NECA. So welcome back to Whatcha Figure. I am Country Boy, and this is the Phantom of the Opera figure from NECA. Like I said, I don't really know this figure or this character very well. I know of it. I know of the Phantom of the Opera. I've never actually watched this movie or any incarnation of this movie really since then either. You know, operas really just aren't my thing. But, you know, I have seen, like, spoofs of it. Like, American Dad did a spoof of it one time. You know, I like the way this character looks. In most incarnations, usually he has like the full white mask or like the 3/4 mask sort of thing that he wears. Whereas I know in this one he definitely doesn't do that. He looks totally different. But you know, before we get to talking about the figure, let's get to looking at the packaging. So let's get to looking at the packaging. The Phantom of the Opera is still in package here, as you can see, with Lon Chaney, Norman Kirby, Mary Philbin, Carl Lamley presents, I think his name is. Ultimate Phantom, it says right there. So this is obviously going to be based off of the old poster from the classic movie. At least I'm assuming it is. I know all the other ones from the Universal Monsters line has been just the poster from the movie put onto the box. So and they look really cool. So I'm assuming that's what this is too. And it looks really cool. Very beautiful colors. It got the classic poster look like they would have had back in the day in the 20s, 30s, whenever this movie would have come out. So let's look at the sides here as well too. We got an image of the figure itself, looking creepy as ever. Phantom of the Opera, NECA, Real Toys, it says right there. More images of the figure, how you can pose him and put different heads on and whatnot. Phantom of the Opera, it also says, includes bamboo stick hat, interchangeable hands and... oh, heads and hands. Sorry, my reading is terrible. And then another image of the figure itself, NECA Real Toys. Back to the front, top, here we go. Phantom of the Opera, NECA, ages 17 and up. This is a mature figure, don't F around. And then there is the credits. Give the credit where credit is due to these people. They made this figure. Let's go to the bottom here and we'll take a look at that. An image of the figure and then the actual figure inside the box itself. Looking really cool. Can't wait to get inside. So I guess there's nothing left to do but to get into the packaging. And here we have the Phantom of the Opera himself. I don't know if he has a name. I've never, like I said, never watched the movies or the actual opera itself. So I don't know if they gave the guy a name or if he just always referred to as the Phantom. So he's really ugly looking, which is obviously the point of the movie. But before I get to looking at his face here, let's get to looking at all the other accessories that he comes with as well too. So he has these two hands right here. This one is kind of like, he's got the two fingers kind of pointing outwards, sort of like that. And then this one is obviously meant for like holding his weapon or his snorkel or his cane, whatever it may be. That's what this hand is more for, I guess. Pretty good detail, really good. You can see like the line work on the like the veins and stuff like that, and like the fingernails and whatnot. Really well done. It's like two different skin tones here, kind of a grayish, but also like a pinkish tone going on. So it's got like the human like, but also like monstrous color going on. And then he's also got these two other these two other hands, I should say. They're both kind of like almost like pointing out or reaching out a little bit. Pretty simplistic, but you know, they really add to the character of who he is. Really cool looking. I like the way these turned out. And then we'll take a look at his bamboo snorkel, I guess is what this is. I would have thought this was a cane if I didn't read what it was at the beginning there. I would not have known that this was a snorkel. But I guess in the image of the poster that it shows on the front, he does have a snorkel. He's underwater and he's got this thing and he's using it as a snorkel. But maybe he uses it as a cane as well too. Maybe as a weapon. I don't know. Sorry, but my ignorance of this movie is showing through. I apologize for anybody that is a fan of the movie. And they're probably just yelling at me right now, like, because I don't know anything about this. And then he also comes with his hat, a really cool looking fedora type hat. Back in the old school 1920s, 1930s, this was the style back in the day, and people pulled it off. People wearing it nowadays would look like a total jackass. But yeah, this is a really good looking hat. It feels good in hand. It feels like a bunch of other NECA type hats that I've gotten in the past, and it totally, yeah, it totally feels like it's gonna fit on his head really nicely. And then he comes with 4 extra heads other than the one that he already has on his head. So we'll start with this one right here, where he's kind of got a smile going on, got the side eye smile. So I don't know if that's more of a conniving look or if he's actually happy. Maybe he's genuinely happy in this head right here. But got the wicked bad haircut going on. He's got kind of a comb over, but he just comb overs the front. The rest of this is just a big old bald spot, which is, you know, age does that to some people. You know, even yours truly has got a bit of a hair problem going on. That's kind of why I wear the hat. And then there's this other head going on, more of a stoic, simple, just looking straightforward, plain look for him. He's got kind of like a primate kind of look to him with his teeth and the way his face is kind of elongated. It seems like that's what I would kind of compare him to, more of like a monkey or an ape of some sort, kind of how he looks. And then I'll go with this face here, where he's kind of yelling. It looks like he's obviously pissed off at something or scared of something. Something definitely startled him. And he's I don't know, he just looks like he's mad and he's got to scare them away or murder them. I'm not too sure. Does he kill anybody in these movies? I think he's attempted to. I don't know if he actually has. Again, my ignorance is showing through. I apologize. And then he also comes with this masked face, which I know definitely in the incarnations of the Phantom of the Opera, he comes with masks. He wears masks at all time to hide his disfigured face. And this one is kind of one of the creepiest ones I've seen because it's more of a doll's face, like a human type face, not like the white classic one that we're used to seeing in the Phantom of the Opera with like the full white mask or like the 3/4 or 2/3 type mask that he wears. This is a full on like doll face that you can see. It looks like he almost has like tape over the mouth or something. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of creepy. And then it even has like a black hat here, almost like a welder's hat or something. That's what it reminds me of. So it's going to do for the accessories. Let's take a look at the figure himself. He's got the side eye going on here too as well. He's looking that ways. It must be a thing that he does in the movie quite a bit. He must be looking to the side or something. He doesn't want to look at the camera. Like, I'm over here, bro. I'm over here. But looking good. Like, it's really good detail. I like the coloring. Like, he's got the pinkish hue going on, but also like some purple, some like dark gray in there as well too. Like the dark sunken eyes. Really well done. And the big old teeth he's got. Yeah, just really good detail. NECA doesn't skimp on the detail ever. They always look really good. And then he's also got his awesome outfit. He's got this tailored suit that he wears. I'm not too sure if it was actually his or if he found it off a body or something like that, because it looks like it fits him pretty well. And it feels like a NECA figure does. If you've ever felt NECA, it feels like my Back to the Future figures or my Ninja Turtles crossed with Universal Monsters figures. It feels like that. That's what it feels like. And he definitely reminds me of my Phantom of the Opera / Casey Jones figure that I have, because obviously for obvious reasons. But yeah, he looks really well done. Got the pants going on. Got the cool heeled shoes. Looks just awesome. This is a really well detailed figure. Even got the cuffs coming through here. Maybe he needs some cufflinks. You know, these are. It would look a lot better if you had cufflinks on, bud. You'd look a little less monstrous, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, let's look at I guess we'll look at the articulation, I should say, while we're here. So the head goes back about that far and goes forward about that far there. Side to side, like that. Not too bad. Turns around. You can go all the way around, but the cuff of the neck does kind of get in the way, so we'll just go that far right for now. And then yeah, side to side, I said that already. And then we'll go, the arms go up about that far, a little bit of hindrance, but you know, NECA doesn't necessarily aren't really known for all of their articulation. And then they spin all the way around like that. Pretty good. Then you got yourself a single jointed elbow, but that's pretty good. It's more than 90 degrees, I'd say. That's really well done there. And then the wrists all the way around. They rotate, they go move back and they move forward like that. Really well done. And then what kind of cuts do we have here to ab? We do have a bit of an ab crunch, so we got a bit of movement there and then movement back. And there's no waist over here, but there is a swivel at the ab as well too. So it kind of gives it that diapery look that you can kind of see there. It's okay. I mean, I wish it's something that they could figure out with some figures, because I know even I've seen some of like the Back to the Future ones where they have like their big hazmat suits. They kind of have that diapery look. I never bought those ones, but that's something that I kind of like wish they didn't have, but nothing you can really do about it with certain figures, I suppose. But yeah, like I said, he's got the good rotation here at the sort of the waist, more his ab, I guess. And then the legs can go up about that far and go back about that far, and they go out pretty good splits there. Nice Van Damme. And then see, the knees are single jointed, so they're about 90 degrees right there. So yeah, it's look at the boots. That's pretty cool. It's almost like a figure skater or something like that. That's what it kind of reminds me of, with the boot cut, or I guess bell bottoms you could say. And then the ankle rocks, little bit left and right, not too much. They do go all the way around though, like that, and they can go down about that far. Like I said, the boot cut of the pants only lets you do so much, and then forward that far. So decent, not not the best for articulation, but I don't think he was a very articulated character in the movies anyways. He's not like a gymnast or anything like that, as far as I know. So that's going to do for looking at just the figures and articulation. Let's do some comparisons next while we're here, so stay tuned for that. And my bad, for some reason I do this quite often. I always forget about the capes. He came, or a cloak, if you will. He came with this as well too. So this is something that will go around his arms, and he'll be able to fit them through. There are these whole slots right here on the sides, and then his neck obviously goes through there. So I don't know why I keep forgetting about these capes. I've done this before with other figures, and they really add to the figure. So I'm gonna have to put this on this guy, take a look, see what it looks like there. So stay tuned for that. Alright, so I tossed the cloak onto the Phantom of the Opera because I honestly think that it actually adds to the character. When I think of the Phantom of the Opera, I do think of him wearing a cloak or cape, what have you. So I do think that it does add to this figure. He was missing something, and now that I put it on there, it definitely feels a lot more Phantom-esque, I'll say. But for little comparisons here, I'll throw in some other suited figures that I have here. This guy right here is the first one I got in this line, is the Universal Monsters Frankenstein's monster. So I think he looks really cool. They feel a lot similar with the types of plastics they use. And I think they fit in really well, like the coloring and everything. Just the level of detail on both of these is phenomenal. So I think that they fit in really well together. Another suited character, a guy with a cape as well. I'll throw in Dracula. Obviously, you had to have Dracula in here. He's got the cool cape going on. And I think the level of detail on Dracula is still probably my favorite, probably the best of the Universal Monsters still, from what I've gotten. I love. I think this Phantom looks great, but I think this guy still is like the top bar of the Universal Monsters figures from NECA. And so for the last comparison, I thought the most obvious one I could do is another Phantom, and it is also one of my favorite figures of the year. It is this guy right there, Casey Jones as the Phantom of the Opera, just mashing TMNT and the Universal Monsters together like nobody else can. Looking really cool. I love this guy. Came with a cloak as well too. Actually, I think it's the exact same cloak, I'll say. So it has same ideas, same colors, and it's got bendy wire inside too. I just didn't want to cover up the level of detail that this guy has. Like, he looks so really cool. Like the little bits of color that he has just looks so awesome. And this guy, he's basically just wearing black and a little bit of white. So I didn't have a problem wearing the cloak, and that's what I think of when I think of the what you call it, the Phantom of the Opera. He wears a cloak, whereas this guy, I was okay. He didn't need to have the cloak on. He looks so cool without it. So that's gonna do it for this video for the Phantom of the Opera. I hope you enjoyed it. I am CountryBoyNiner with an underscore in there somewheres. Go ahead and check me out on other platforms. I also do other videos with my friends. We are called Wasted Opinions. We love just having fun, talking whatever we can, comic books, movies, TV shows, video games, what have you, and the like. For now, that's going to do it. Like I said, I am Country Boy, and I put the sass in Sarsaparilla.